Hello, everyone, and welcome to my Indigenous people presentation on the Yanomami tribe. So, life in the Amazon rainforest. The Yanomami are indigenous people who live in the Amazon rainforest in South America. The name Yanomami means human beings or people in their language. They have lived in the forest for a very long time. They depend on the rainforest for food, shelter, and other daily needs. They live closely with nature and use what the forest provides. The Yanomami are often described as one of the largest indigenous groups in South America that have maintained many of their traditional ways of life. Even though some communities have contact with the outside world, many continue to protect their customs, language, and relationship with the rainforest. Learning about the Yanomami helps us understand the importance of respecting these indigenous cultures and protecting the environments they depend on. So, location. So the Yanomami live in remote parts of the Amazon rainforest. Most of their villages are located along the border. So this is the border right here of northern Brazil and southern Venezuela. So this area is a tropical forest and many of the communities are found near rivers. The rivers and forests are very important because they provide water, food, and other resources that they need daily. Their population. So their population is about 45,000 people in total living in Brazil and Venezuela. So about 30,000 to 35,000 in Brazil and then 10 to 15,000 in Venezuela. They do not live in one large group or community. Instead, in many small separate villages that is spread throughout the rainforest. Each village is made up of close family and community members who share daily life and responsibilities. The Yanomami continue to face challenges today, and their populations may stay the same or possibly decrease in the future. Languages. Their language is mainly spoken and not written. There are different related languages spoken within the Yanomami people. The largest group is the Yanomamo, which is mostly spoken in Venezuela and parts of Brazil. Other groups, including Sanuma, Nina, Yanomami, are in different areas of the rainforest. Their food source. So the Yanomami people rely heavily on the Amazon rainforest for their food. A large part of their diet comes from crops they grow, like plantains, cassava, corn, and sweet potatoes. They also hunt animals and fish and gather foods like fruits, nuts, honey, and insects from the forest. So, weaponry. The Yanomami use a variety of traditional weapons made from materials found in the rainforest. This includes bows, arrows, clubs, machetes. Some arrow tips are made out of bone, wood, or bamboo. There are arrows that they use that is treated with a plant based poison, which affects the nervous system and muscles and it eventually leads to paralysis. So the men uses uses this to quickly immobilize the animals so it's easier for them to catch. They also carry around arrows in quivers made from bamboos and animal skins. Their hunting tools. So their hunting tools are long bows and arrows that are found in the wood, made from wood that is found in the forest, such as palm wood and bamboo. However, some Yanomami have adapted to modern tools like machetes, axes, and knives, depending on the contact they've had with the outsiders. Many still rely on their traditional hunting skills. They are excellent trackers and very accurate when hitting a target. So, agriculture is an important part of their life. The women are the primary care for the crops. So men do help, but they have a different role. They are responsible for doing the heavy work by clearing the area. So Yanomami women grow plantains, cassava, corn, bananas, sweet potatoes, and taro. They use a special method called shifting cultivation, or also known as slash and burn farming. So where small areas of the forest are cleared and used for farming. Then, in a few years, they move to a new area so that way their land can recover. So art, music, and culture. The Yanomami express their culture in many ways. So body painting, carving, shamanic songs, music and chanting are used in ceremonies for healing, celebrating, and just reconnecting with nature. Their communities do not have a single leader or ruler. Instead, all decisions are made together and as one. They live in a large communal home called shabonos. There are no private spaces for each family, but aside from sleeping together, they also share food and resources. Their villages do not settle in one area. They move over time to allow the land to recover. So storytelling is also an important part of their culture. Elders pass down knowledge about the forest, animals, traditions, and spiritual beliefs through stories and spoken teachings. This allows younger generations to learn about their culture without relying on written language. So, labor and division. So, the Yanomami work is shared through different roles. Men usually hunt, clear land, and make tools and weapons. The men also lead all spiritual ceremonies, healing rituals, and protecting the village. Women take care of farming, gathering food and materials from the rainforest, cooking, weaving, and taking care of the children. Children learn from a very young age by helping the adults. So boys learn survival and hunting skills with the men, while the girls are helping their mothers with daily routines. Clothing and shelter. So the Yanomami wear simple clothing made from strings and cottons. So they grow and spin their own cotton to make these materials. Body painting is an important part of how they dress because it is considered to be fully dressed. They also use feathers, beads, seeds, and flowers to use as accessories. Some practices include piercings. Their shabonos are not typical huts or houses. Instead, it's a big circular with an open center with no inside walls or private rooms. So families share all living spaces. So this photo is an example of what their shabonos look like inside. So again, there are no walls and no private spaces. Funeral rites. So to honor their loved ones who have died, the Yanomami follow a very important tradition because they see death as something unnatural. After death, the body is left in the forest to decompose naturally. When that is done, their bones are collected and cremated. The ashes are respectfully prepared and used in a community ritual. Depending on the circumstance of the death, different rituals may be followed. This tradition is a way to honor the person by keeping their memory and spirit connected with the village. Okay, so ecological challenges. So just like any other community, the Yanomami face several ecological challenges in the Amazon rainforest. Deforestation is one of the major problems because it destroys habitat, food sources, and hunting areas. Illegal mining causes mercury pollution, which contaminates the rivers and affects the fish. Remember now, fish is an important food source. Climate change is also causing hotter temperatures and fires, and which makes it harder for them to live in the forest. These environmental problems also affect the health of the Yanomami people. So mercury from the illegal mining can contaminate drinking water and fish, leading to serious health problems. And then, of course, deforestation also forces wildlife away from their hunting grounds, making it difficult for them to find food. Because the Yanomami depend on so much on the rainforest, protecting the forest is also protecting their culture and way of life. So, in conclusion, the Yanomami live closely with the Amazon rainforest and rely on it for their survival and day of living. They have strong, deep rooted traditions, language, and community that mold their culture. However, they are facing challenging economic conditions like deforestation, illegal mining, and climate change, but their way of life shows the importance of living in balance with nature. Thank you so much for listening to my Indigenous People project. Aloha.